Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever read something and just thought, wow, how did they do that? Well, today we're prying open the author's secret toolbox. We're going to look at the magic behind the words we read and see how simple sentences get transformed into something powerful, something that really moves you. So let's get that lid open and see what's inside. Just take a look at this quote from Nelson Mandela. Really feel its weight. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. It's powerful, isn't it? It just sticks with you. But why? I mean, what makes these words, in this exact order, so much more impactful than just saying people are good?
And that, right there, is the big question for this explainer. How do words become more than just words? Well, the answer isn't some kind of secret magic. It's craft. It's all about the deliberate use of powerful tools that every writer has. And today, we're going to give you the keys to that toolbox so you can spot them for yourself.
We're going to think of this like we're exploring the different trays in an author's toolkit. First, we'll check out the tools of comparison. Then, we'll dive into how writers craft sound and rhythm. After that, we'll see how they literally paint pictures with words. And finally, we'll put it all together so you can start reading with a brand new set of eyes. Okay, let's start with some of the most fundamental tools in the whole kit, the tools of comparison. These are what writers use to build bridges between ideas, making something abstract feel totally concrete, and something unfamiliar feel like you've known it your whole life. First up is the metaphor. This one's a real powerhouse. It's a direct comparison that doesn't mess around saying something is like something else. It says it is something else. Look at this example. Lencho was an ox of a man. The author isn't just saying he's a big guy. Nope, they're saying he is an ox. He embodies its stubbornness, its raw strength, its tireless nature. It's such a richer, more potent image, right? Sitting right next to the metaphor in the toolbox is its cousin, the simile. You can always spot a simile because it uses the magic words like or as. Instead of saying one thing is another, it just draws a comparison. For example, the field was white, as if covered with salt. This creates this really stark, almost bleak picture. It's not just that the field was white, it gives us a specific kind of white, a barren, kind of lifeless white.
So, here's the crucial difference. It's all about intensity. A curtain of rain, that's a metaphor. It makes the rain become this impenetrable barrier, something heavy and absolute. But when the text says the clouds looked like black mountains, that's a simile. It's just suggesting a similarity in shape and maybe a feeling of menace, drawing a powerful visual connection for you without saying they're the same thing.
And to round out our comparison tools, we have personification. This is when an author gives human qualities or actions to things that aren't human at all. I mean, a house can't literally sit, but by saying the house sat on the crest of the hill, the writer gives it this feeling of presence, of quiet observation. It makes the house a character, not just a building.
All right, let's slide that first tray closed and move on to the next one. We're now looking at tools that appeal to your ear, not just your brain. These are the devices that create the music of language, and they can totally affect your mood and even the speed you read at.
Okay, the most obvious sound device is onomatopoeia. This one is so much fun. These are literally words that sound like the noise they're describing. You don't just read them, you hear them. A heavy thud, a little jingle, a deep roar, a sudden clatter. See? Each word just pulls you right into the middle of the action. Next up, we've got repetition. Now, this isn't a writer just being lazy and using the same word over and over. No way. It is a deliberate, powerful choice for emphasis. When Nelson Mandela says, never, never, and never again, that triple never is like a hammer just driving the point home with a force that's absolutely unforgettable. Now for something a little more subtle, a little more sneaky. It's called assonance. This is the repetition of vowel sounds inside of words, which creates this cool internal rhyme. Just listen for that long O sound weaving through this line from Robert Frost. I hold with those who favor fire. You hear it? That repeated sound creates this slow, open, almost mournful music. And the flip side of assonance is consonance. That's the repetition of consonant sounds. Listen to this one. He stalks in his vivid stripes. That sharp, repeated st sound, it adds this percussive, almost tense texture to the line. It perfectly mimics the quiet, controlled, stealthy movement of a tiger. So cool. So we've seen how authors can build connections and create music. Now let's look at the really big guns, the tools they use to build entire worlds. This is where writers go beyond just describing things and start embedding these deeper layers of meaning. The master tool for building a world is imagery. And listen, this isn't just about what you can see. Real, powerful imagery appeals to all 5 of your senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. It's how an author grabs you and puts you right inside the scene, making you feel like you're really there.
Let's see how this works. In this example, the author doesn't just say it was Christmas time. No, they build the scene piece by piece. We see the wreaths and the shimmering light on the snow. We can almost smell that Christmas air. By layering all these sensory details, they make the world feel completely real and alive.
Now for a tool of much deeper meaning: symbolism. This is where a physical, concrete object is used to represent a huge, abstract idea. So in Mandela's writing, chains aren't just physical metal links. They become this powerful symbol for the entire system of oppression, for the loss of freedom, for the psychological weight of apartheid.
Okay, here's a more advanced tool for you. It's got a tricky name, synecdoche, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It's when an author uses a small part of something to represent the whole thing. So when a text talks about South African soil, it's not just talking about dirt. That soil stands in for the entire nation, its land, its people, its history, its soul. It's a way to create this deep, powerful connection with just a single phrase.
So there you have it. We've journeyed through the author's toolkit. We've seen how writers choose their tools so carefully, not just to tell us a story, but to make us feel it and hear it and understand it on a level we didn't even know was there.
All right, let's do a quick inventory of what we've packed in our own reading toolkit today. For comparison, we've got metaphor, simile, and personification. For sound, we've got onomatopoeia, repetition, assonance, and consonants. And for creating deeper meaning, we have imagery, symbolism, and that tricky one, synecdoche. So, the next time you pick up a book or an article, you're not just a reader anymore. You're a detective. You have the tools. You know what to look for. The only question is, what incredible hidden meanings are you going to discover?